Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the CUSA EXCEL or CAVITRON Ultrasonic Surgical Aspirator. It's a really cool device that I've used quite a bit in the OR, so I'm going to go over how it works, the various settings and tips, and some examples of how it can be used in surgery. So the CUSA EXCEL is made by Integra Life Sciences. It's primarily used in neurosurgery, hepatic surgery, or liver surgery and oncologic surgery where there's a need to remove tissue, but you want to do it in a very selective way so that you don't damage surrounding critical structures, such as blood vessels and nerves. So the CUSA EXCEL uses ultrasonic vibrations, typically around 23 to 36 kilohertz, which is too high for us to hear, to basically emulsify or break down the soft tissue. The great thing about this is that it spares those critical structures like blood vessels and nerves. And so the way it works is you have an ultrasonic handpiece that emits these vibrations. You also have an irrigation system that provides saline that keeps the tissue from overheating and also helps aspirate the debris away. And then you also have an aspiration system that's built into the tip itself that sucks up the emulsified tissue along with the irrigation fluid. And all this is controlled on the CUSA EXCEL unit, which is the console that you see here. Here I can control the power, the irrigation rate, the aspiration strength, and also the different modes that I want to use. There's 3 different modes: soft, intermediate, and fibrous. And depending on the tissue that I'm cutting, I can select the appropriate mode and it'll adjust the power accordingly. Some examples of its use in surgery would be in neurosurgery, to remove a tumor like a glioma or a meningioma that's close to critical areas of the brain. In liver surgery, you can use it to resect a portion of the liver that has a tumor or metastasis. And also in spinal surgery, it can be used to debulk soft tissue or a tumor that's near the spine. Other applications include gynecological surgery to remove fibroids and in urology to excise a kidney tumor. So let's go through the key components really quickly. You have the ultrasonic handpiece, which is what you hold, and this vibrates and does all the cutting. You can use different tips depending on the procedure. For example, a straight tip for brain surgery or a 30-degree angled tip for liver surgery. Then you have the console, which is the CUSA EXCEL unit itself. This is where you control all the settings, the power, the irrigation, the aspiration, etc. And then you have the tubing set. The tubing set is disposable, and this is what connects the handpiece to the console. It's important to note that the tubing set also has 2 ports, one for aspiration and one for irrigation. And then finally you have a foot switch that allows you to control the power, suction, and irrigation hands-free. Before we go, let's quickly review some of the CUSA EXCEL settings parameters. First is the ultrasonic power, which ranges from 0 to 100%. This basically controls the intensity of the ultrasonic vibrations and therefore the amount of power that's being delivered to the tissue. Next is the aspiration flow, which is also 0 to 100%. This controls the strength of the suction that's being applied by the tip itself. And lastly, we have the irrigation rate, which ranges from 0 to 40 milliliters per minute. This is the flow rate of the saline that is being provided to keep the handpiece and the tissue from overheating. The biggest advantage of the CUSA EXCEL is that it allows for very selective tissue removal, because it's using ultrasound to cut the tissue. It doesn't damage blood vessels and nerves like cautery or a scalpel might. Another advantage is that it causes less bleeding, because you're only cutting the tissue that you need to cut, and you're re-irrigating it at the same time. This is especially useful in delicate areas like the brain or the liver. And another advantage is that it can reduce operating time, especially in complex surgeries. Now, what are some of the limitations? Well, it doesn't work well on calcified or hard tissues like bone. It's really meant for soft tissue. Another thing to remember is that you always have to have irrigation flowing. If you stop the irrigation, the handpiece will overheat and it could damage the surrounding tissue. Also, the tip can get clogged if you're not irrigating it properly or if you're reusing a dirty tip. So you have to keep the tip clean and use it appropriately. And lastly, if you have the settings too high, you can damage healthy tissue. So you have to be careful with the settings and use it appropriately. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. And if you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and take care.